Ah, the dream of a project car. It's a tale as old as time for us car enthusiasts, dreaming of turning wrenches as a weekend warrior. But then reality sets in and crashes the party. Too expensive, not enough know-how, not feeling like you're part of the cool kids' garage. Nah, scrap those thoughts. I'm here to debunk those myths and get you pumped about diving into the project car world. First off, let's get one thing straight. You don't need to break the bank or be a certified mechanic to get started. And trust me, our cool bar is pretty low. Today, I'll give you 3 solid reasons why a project car should be your next adventure. And because I'm all about walking the talk, I'll share with you my top 4 project car picks that won't have you selling a kidney on the black market. You might be wondering, who is this guy and why should I care? Well, I'm just your average Joe with a well above average car obsession. And while I happen to be a professional mechanic, today I'm going to show you that you definitely don't need to be to have fun in your garage. I've owned more project cars than I can count on all my fingers and toes. I see a dilapidated or unloved car and I just can't resist. So, if you've got a garage collecting dust or a car that's seen better days, let's get that project rolling. Okay, few reasons why you should consider getting a project car. First and foremost, it's a ton of fun. Some of the best times I've had have been late nights, hanging out with my buddies, trying to finish a project so that I could make it to work the next day. It's a rewarding feeling to fix something, even if it's something simple like replacing old cracked and worn out taillights. It's even more rewarding to say, take a car that wasn't running or wasn't running well and get it ticking like a Swiss watch. Cars can seem like complex beasts, and I gotta be honest, sometimes they are. But taming them isn't usually as daunting as it actually seems. Working on a project car not only teaches you about cars, but it also preps you for life's curveballs. You'll learn patience and logic and start to gain a general understanding of how stuff works. And that doesn't have to stop with cars. Pretty soon you'll gain the skills, confidence, and knowledge to expand your horizons into virtually anything mechanical, so that when your dryer stops drying or your furnace straight up quits, well, you've already got most of the tools you'll need to diagnose and repair it. I'm not saying figuring out how to change the ignition coils on your Subaru makes you an appliance repair tech or an electrician, but that's what the Academy of YouTube is here for. And yes, your newfound skills will make you the go-to fix-it person, but hey, that's just more practice and maybe even a little side hustle. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it won't always be smooth sailing. You'll hit roadblocks, but that's where the best part of having a project car comes in. It's the community. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you and most of your friends are car people, but picking up a new project can grow your social circle fast. Because I guarantee there are other people you haven't met, probably right in your very own community, that are just as excited about your old Civic as you are. Bruh. It's not about having the fastest or nicest ride. It's about those 2 a.m. garage sessions with friends, wrestling with the gearbox, sharing triumphs and failures. The car community transcends language and borders, and it's downright magical. Okay, so you're sold on picking up a project car. There's a few things you're gonna need: a place to work on it, and tools. Oh yeah, having a lift in a garage is absolutely ideal, but I spent years working on cars outside and half the time rolling around on gravel, which isn't great, but it's absolutely doable and shouldn't stop you. Now, as far as tools, I started off with hand-me-down, mismatched, and unorganized old Craftsman stuff, a basic socket set, and a couple ratchets and wrenches, some pliers and screwdrivers, the basics. And these days, I've got more money wrapped up in professional tools than I like to think about, which can make fixing cars easier, but you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to get the job done. This video is not sponsored in any way, but if you've got the budget, take a look at the Icon series of tools from Harbor Freight. We bought basically everything they had in the catalog to use as a spare set of tools to float around the shop, and we've been more than impressed with the value for dollar. Get a good set of ratchets, a decent set of pliers, as many sockets as you can, a multi-pack of screwdrivers and extensions and adapters, and you're on your way. Don't spend a lot of money on tool storage like I have, because I can tell you right now, it's just not really worth it. I mean, I love my Snap-on toolbox, but it holds tools no better or worse than an inexpensive cart from Amazon or Harbor Freight. You're gonna wanna get a floor jack, and some jack stands too. And depending on what you're working on, you wanna consider getting either a low profile or higher lift set. Last couple things, get a decent multimeter and the best code reader or scan tool your budget allows. You don't always have to have a fully bi-directional programming capable one with an oscilloscope and all the goodies to be able to properly diagnose and fix your car. And again, this is where the community can come in clutch. If you need a special tool or socket to do a specific repair on your specific car, chances are someone has it in your local community and will let you rent, borrow, or even come over and help you use it. Plus, auto parts stores have a bunch of specialty tools available to rent for free. cooling system pressure testers, ball joint presses, stuff like that that's expensive to buy. And if you aren't gonna use it often, just borrow it. Just don't be that guy that borrows your friend's tools and then forgets to bring them back. It's an age-old tradition, but it's the worst. Okay, so you've got the place and the tools. Now for the fun part. It's time to pick a project car. This is where your tastes and preferences shine. From street-legal track toys to dedicated drift machines, slammed cruisers to jacked-up mud boggers. Anything you want, go for it. Whether you want to tear up the track, work on mastering the drift, conquer the trails, or just have a cool driver to go on drives and hit cars and coffee on the weekends, there's a project car waiting for you. For the drift enthusiasts, consider an E36 or E46 BMW. Affordable, plentiful, and with just enough power to get sideways. Now, an M3 would be absolutely ideal, but they ain't cheap. So, find a 325 or 328 or 330 and get to work making it outperform the M3. Brad and I have owned 9 different 3 Series between the both of us, and while I'm partial to the E46, you honestly can't go wrong with any of them. For the off-roaders out there, a Jeep Wrangler or the Cherokee might be your call to the wild. Personally, I'd look at a late 90s or early 2000s Cherokee and save yourself some cash over the Wrangler, because while the Wrangler is legendary off-road, the Cherokee really isn't far behind in terms of capability, and it's miles ahead in on-road comfort and practicality. Either way, pick one up with the straight 6 and go have some fun. If you're more into living that low life or just want a cool car that's great to use every day, take a look at the Lexus LS 400. They're inexpensive, they run for literally ever, and they look incredible with mods. They seriously go down the road like $1,000,000. And if you're not into carving canyons or track days, it might be the choice for you. But if you are into the occasional track day or autocross, look no further than the car that's literally always the answer and get yourself a Miata. Any generation will do, so do your research and figure out what kind of Miata fits your budget. Again, they're inexpensive, parts are plentiful, they're easy to work on, and they're an absolute blast to drive. That being said though, if you can stretch your budget just a little bit further, be on the lookout for an FRS or a BRZ. We just picked this one up for $9,500, and it's the ideal project car. Real quick, I want to clarify what makes for a great project car. If you're new to fixing cars, there are 2 major requirements. Number 1, you've got to be able to drive it home. If it's not running or not shifting or runs too badly to make it back to the garage, you might just be buying someone else's problem. I've personally bought a ton of cars that aren't running, but I have the skills, the knowledge, the experience, and tools to know when you're better off just walking away. And if you're new to this, chances are you don't. Not yet. And 2, no major rust or body damage. Unless your idea of a project car is something that needs body work, and that's something you want to learn to do, you're gonna want to steer clear of anything that needs a body shop. Body work is expensive, and it's a whole different discipline of working on cars. It's totally fine if it's got some scrapes and dings or needs a new bumper cover. That you can do for relatively little money. But anything more major than all that, like a caved-in quarter panel or even a hail damage car, you're probably better off walking away. In the next video, we're gonna show you how to not get ripped off when buying a project car, where we'll go over some more things to watch out for in finer detail. So get subscribed so you don't miss that. In the meantime, go check out some other ideal videos right over here. My name's Trav, do me a favor and hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.